What's poppin', y'all? It's Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know what time it is. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. You get one. So the more you learn, the more you soak in, the more you can make rights instead of lefts and create the life you want for yourself. It's no right or wrong direction, but at the same time, on a spiritual level, like, you will know what's good and what's not for your own individual path. So all you gotta do is follow it and take heed to the signs, and you will be just fine. So before I start my video, let me say thank you to all my supporters. But listen, I'm from Sacramento, California, and it has been a hell of a hot last 3 days. I'm talking about 102 and 3 temperatures. I'm talking so hot, it don't even make no sense. You don't want to talk, you don't want to do nothing. Like, it's just that hot. It's finally getting to the point where it's cooling down, finally. Like, the first record hot days of the beginning of what I see to be the summer is going to be ridiculously hot. Like, listen, if you are anywhere in Sacramento, California, let me help you understand something. Stay as cool as possible, because when it gets hot, it gets hot. For real, for real. Get to the point where in some people it can cause a reaction of, listen, just sit down, chill in the AC, stay cool. And then some people, like, their emotions are affected by the heat and they can turn into demons, and it, causes a lot of emotions and stirs up a lot of feelings, and some people react off of that, and it can cause things to happen. It's the world. It is what it is, So anyway, I want to get into the topic of this video, basically helping people understand that we're in the process of understanding ourselves. So stop going around thinking that nobody don't like you. That's false. Is what you see in your head is what you think about in your head, and it have it as far as brainwashing and mind controlling and getting you to think certain thoughts about yourself, which, you know what I'm saying, and others which are not true. It's all in your head. Everything ever invented in this world is based off of things, thoughts, and ideas in your head. The brain creates everything. The brain has no limits. The brain can do basically anything scientifical, and, you know what I'm saying, with the power of God, things unexplained. Like, some things happen that people, scientists, can't explain. That's God. But again, it's a confusing, complex scenario and situation. You almost gotta, tap into yourself and figure out who you are. In the process of that, it will have you thinking that people don't like you. Especially if you never did anything to nobody. Like, all in your head. It's a defeat mechanism to have you thinking that people don't like you, to trap you in the head of, you know what I'm saying, yourself, to where you almost drive yourself insane. And then your actions start to reflect that. It's crazy. It's a complex thought process. You know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of people may not believe in God. People may not believe in higher power, whatever you want to call it. Is the power of when God comes down, and the real idea of Adam and Eve energies, and when they come together, and it's helping people to understand and balance out themselves. It's not that people don't like you. Like, people don't have a problem with people. It's the fact that everybody is trying to figure themselves out. We're in a state of a little bit of panic right now, because everybody is starting to figure out themselves, which means certain things and habits and situations they involve themselves in, they're probably taking a deeper introspection into that to try to see where it's areas that need fixing, and why certain people like to hang out with me and why certain people don't. Like, but the only way you'll be able to truly figure that out, and you know what I'm saying, self introspect, is that you have to be alone. You have to be by yourself. You have to. Because if you're constantly surrounded by people all the time, their energy is being played onto you. You're brainwashed into the system they have set out for us, means you think a certain way. So as long as they can trick you into thinking a certain way through manipulation, you know what I'm saying, control, whatever, however, it almost stop you from really truly being yourself, because you're in this mode of trying to stand out in the crowd, trying to be something in the crowd, and it causes you to do certain things and act a certain way to be able to get validation from certain people. Now, in people's minds, they may be thinking that they don't need certain validation from people to make certain choices, but if you think about it, then that would mean that we would understand that it's not that nobody don't like us. Now, if you was out in the world doing things backwards and intentionally in choices, and you know what I'm saying, doing things to people to intentionally hurt them for your own self-gain, okay, that's different. You will get that karma back from that. And that may be why, you feel me, somebody don't like you. But to really be thinking in your mind all the people that rock with you for real over the course of years, or befriended you, now all of a sudden don't like you, that's not the case. It's a mind trick. It's a mind trick that's being used to get people to isolate. And when you are isolated, a lot of times the brain plays tricks on you and has you thinking certain things that may not be true. And you tend to act out on those things off of however way you feel about yourself. Like, God is powerful. God is the creator of everything. But he also will not work if you're not willing to help yourself. It's called free will, meaning you have the choice to do anything you want in life. But based off your actions and your steps and how you move in life is when God steps in and decides to make things happen that are unexplainable, not even through scientific notation. Have been brainwashed to believe, but then not believe due to certain things that have happened in their life. You know what I'm saying? Listen, everybody's life is on the spiritual path. You have to be willing to look inside yourself and know what's no longer working for you. Become one with God. It will be no anger. It will be no jealousy. It will be no manipulation. Like, you have the ability to love yourself enough to love others and understand that life is life and it be lifing. You know what I'm saying? But who are you really, and do you allow other people's energy to affect your choices, thoughts, and actions? Or are you able to be one with yourself and understand others as well? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, now in this day and age, starting from 2023 until now, we're being forced and pushed to isolate, to understand and introspect in our lives, whether we want to or not. But you have to understand the way some people's mind work is that they will feel what they are doing is not wrong. They will feel everything they're doing is right. And it blocks them from being able to be open-minded to the guidance that spirit and, you know, your higher power of God will be able to give you, because you're stuck in this mode of not being open-minded. You know what I'm saying? It is officially June, the month of my birthday, which is on the 29th, and it's Pride Month. And a lot of people think, you know what I'm saying, it's all about homosexuality and people being homosexual. And granted, it is a part of that. But if y'all really think about it, gay means happy. Happy means the ability to love people for who they are, just like they are. Because when you love yourself, you love others. Because people, human beings, have a right to be whoever, whatever they want. You can't control nobody. You can't make them be what you want them to be. And that's where a lot of manipulation and jealousy and stuff comes from, because you have this idea of what you want a person to be. And when they're not that, you become, or you know what I'm saying, not liking them or whatever the case may be. Because your standard way of your life and how you have it figured for yourself causes you to be blocked at some point. And so to be able to accept others for the way that they are, because you met them on a level of energetically them and you guys bonding at the same time. But they took a time to introspect into their life and took some of the blocks off of their life and allowed God to come into the picture and free them of whatever blocks they had set out for their own life. And in turn, that elevated them. And when people see you elevating higher than them, a lot of times it causes jealousy, but not because it's jealousy towards you. You haven't done anything, especially if you're a stand-up person who tell the truth. You don't manipulate, you kind, you treat people with respect. You know deep down you haven't done anything to anybody, but it's really them fighting themselves. And the fact that somewhere in their path, they can't seem to take the block off to be able to elevate. They're stuck at the level, because again, it's levels to this shit. They're stuck at one level they can't seem to beat. And again, life is life. It's no right or wrong way, but at the same time, when you are one with your higher power, God, Allah, whoever you choose to call it, certain signs, synchronicities, and you know what I'm saying, thoughts will appear to you to help you adjust your life. And if you choose not to adjust because you're content with what you have and you're not willing to change, but you know deep down inside you need to, for the simple fact it's really causing you harm. Like, it's really causing you damage to your soul. It's really not what you're okay with. But you in your mind, you think you're okay. And it causes those feelings of jealousy. It causes those feelings of anger. It causes those feelings of maybe feeling like you don't like somebody. Solely because your soul is not in the place you want it to be in. You're settling. You feel me? But people have to understand that it's not you. It's them being blocked from their true selves. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know how to necessarily break out of it, because in their mind, they see that what they're doing is okay for them. When, you know what I'm saying? You can't really, listen, you can't change nobody. Like, all you can do is change yourself. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And you have to have the ability to be able to wake up every day and realize what's not working for you. If you wake up angry, something is off. If you wake up depressed, something is off. If you wake up not happy, something is off. Because life is a blessing by God. Some people didn't wake. Every day you wake up, somebody didn't wake up. So every day you get to live, it should be a blessing. You should be filled with happiness. If you're filled with anything other than that, that means something in your life is not healthy and damaging to you, but you're so comfortable in it that you're refusing to look at it and change. So when you have someone that took an introspection into their life and realized some things were not working and decided to change those things, they tend to elevate, because life is energy. Period. Every human being, everything in life, everything operated, everything moving, everything in the world is based off of energy. The higher your energy will go, the more you have an introspection into your life and you become one with God. Because as you become one with God, he will help you sort out what you need to sort out and give you the direction you need to help you grow. But you cannot listen to him because your free will is letting you think in your mind that what you are doing is cool for you. But you are waking up depressed, or you get angry easily, like you're not content and at peace inside your soul. Because a person who is at peace inside their soul, they don't get upset, they don't get angry, they don't get really emotional. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be able to look at things, you know what I'm saying, that you are refusing to look at. It's a lot of us in my generation who run from the things that have really hurt us. Like, we run from it, meaning we block it with money, we block it with people, we block it with alcohol, we block it with drugs. We run from it. We never talk about it, we never associate with it, we never shed any feelings from it. We were just going on day by day by day by day. And I let me explain to y'all from experience. I was 19 when my brother got killed. I never really sat down with that and expressed my true emotions towards it. Because in my life, the fact that I grew up with strong people, but that really affected me, it was, you still got to go on with life. So because you still have to go on with life, you cannot sink in that. And so automatically, I kept going on with life, never really expressing my emotion of how I felt about it, because it was like a soul shock to me. And I'm gonna be honest, at the funeral, it was so soul shocking to me, but I knew I was supposed to cry. I kind of was almost putting on an act of crying, even though I really didn't feel it at the time. It hurt, but my soul was shocked. I wasn't ready. But at the same time, I couldn't feel the emotion I was supposed to feel from it. You know what I'm saying? But when I went to prison in 2017, out of nowhere, mind you, this is isolation. I was isolated by myself from the people in my life that judged me and try to make me think a certain way, from the people in the prison, the jail, and you feel me? Because I had my own room. So all I had was me, myself, and my thoughts. But I had went into the shower one day to take a shower, and out of nowhere, I finally felt the feeling that I need to feel after all that time to really process my emotions and what I felt from my brother passing away. And I stood in that shower and I really cried for real, for real. Like, really cried for real. It wasn't fake. It wasn't acting. It wasn't a soul shock. It was finally, I had the time to process that feeling I needed to process. And again, I think it was all, you know what I'm saying, God's help. When God feels you're ready to process certain emotions and ready to elevate in life, he will give you all the tools needed through synchronicities, thoughts, feelings, emotions. But again, you got to understand, it's not a ride everybody's willing to take. Some people scared of roller coasters. They don't even get on them. And understand, with this journey of life, it is a roller coaster ride. And God is not going to put nothing on you that too much that you can't handle, which means you have to be strong enough to ride this ride. Otherwise, you'll sink into whatever has happened in your life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when bad things happen, that's when people want to look up to God. Oh, God, why me? Why this happened? Please fix it. Please fix it. But when everything is going good, you hardly ever hear anybody say anything to God. And it's, listen, it's it's a mix of emotions, thoughts, and flow to your life. Here to judge his people. He's not here to, you know what I'm saying, put a mark on his people. That's not his way. He's here to help people understand Who are you really? Without the judgments, without the criticism, without the depression, without the anger, without the money, who are you really? And a lot of people don't even know who that is. They don't. Because they have something that they use that's comfortable for them to cover up everything about being themselves, their feelings, and their thoughts. Like, listen. And so you're blocking yourself from really listening to him. You got to be strong enough for the ride. Again, like I said, if you're not strong enough for the ride, you won't be able to hear him. You won't be able to acknowledge him. You won't even be able to even understand your life. You'll just settle. So that tends to cause a lot of animosity and jealousy and you know what I'm saying, in others. But if you think about it, for people who have a hard time understanding why they're at a place in their life where they're isolated out from everyone and everything they thought they knew, it's because it's time for you to focus on you. Them people, it's not that they don't like you. They focusing on themselves as well. It's life. If you really think about it, everybody is in it for themselves. And I get it. But to be in it for yourself means, you know what I'm saying, the understanding of people. Because as people, we all come together and we work together. Can't nobody really do it alone. You know what I'm saying? But people are not really understanding how the brain works and the process that it takes to filter out what it needs to filter out, because for so long we've been masking things by physical reality of what we can see, you know. But God is real, because people didn't see this day coming. They thought it was gonna come in like 2K. Remember when we had to, you know, stock up on food and have extra water and stuff because we thought something was gonna happen? Nah. He does it when we least expect it, because if he was going to come when everybody knew about it, that would give everybody time to prepare. And if you have time to prepare, how do you really know and figure out what you need to work on? Because you didn't prepare for everything. It's unexpected, because it's hard to introspect inside of yourself if you feel like you got everything figured out. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard battle for people to process right now. And it's not an easy one, but you have to think about it. Some people older than me, some people younger than me, but from my experience of 35, about to be 36 in a couple weeks, I've been, for so long in my life, I had a certain programming in my brain that caused me not to really know who I was. Caused me to have low self-esteem, caused me to try to fit in wherever I could fit in, caused me to do things for other people that I knew wasn't right, caused me to be a people pleaser, caused me to do everything for everybody except for myself. And when I finally figured that out and started doing things for myself, things started to happen. You know what I'm saying? That I couldn't quite explain and understand, you know. But I'm also very open-minded. I'm very open-minded to how people live their lives. And I understand we all didn't grow up the same. So in order for me to you know what I'm saying, be understanding of you, I have to understand that. But a lot of people in this world today are not open-minded, because they've been programmed to think a certain way. They've been brainwashed to think a certain way. And they refuse to break the brainwashing. Because again, like I said, they're set in the way that they think. And it leaves no room for new information or new ideas, because you're set in that. And whenever you don't get that set way of life, you get angry, upset, jealous, and it's like those are all the emotions that stop you from having an open mind and connecting with God. You know what I'm saying? But people don't understand that. People won't realize it. So again, your own journey is for yourself. You can't explain something to people that have blocked brains, because you'll be standing trying to explain something to somebody that don't have an open mind and a blocked brain, and you'll be sounding stupid, because you'll be trying to understand why they don't understand. And listen, the world we live in right now, people will pretend. They'll act like they really know what's going on or understanding what you're saying, but their behavior and what they do every day a completely different picture, and you'll realize that your words went in one ear and out the other. You know what I'm saying? It's heaven is your higher self, and hell is your lower self, meaning everything in a low vibration is under your feet. You know what I'm saying? And everything of a higher vibration is over your head. Everything that keeps you in a low vibration is only centered to your own personal life journey and spiritual walk. You cannot put what you need to figure out onto someone else, because everybody's journey and walk in life is different. So your own journey is tailored to fit you. But we're in a mass situation right now where people have to spend time alone to be able to figure out what that is. And again, listen, people don't like to be lonely. For so long, they've used certain things to get people to be around them, so they never really had time to focus on themselves. And focusing on yourself would drive people crazy. It's almost like being in prison, but in the real world without bars. So you have the free will to do whatever you want, but are you listening to what has been stopping your spiritual growth and connecting with God? Or are you settling and continuing to live your life the same way? That's all prison is. A place where you're by yourself and you have time to introspect. Now, if you're driven and motivated by the evil things in your life, isolation could drive you crazy, and it could drive you off the deep end. And you can go and shoot and hurt and kill people with no remorse, because you're motivated by your lower self, which is the lower vibration that causes evil thoughts in your mind. And then you have your higher self that wants to elevate and be happy and grow. But it's a major shift, you know what I'm saying, in the things that you do on a daily basis and how you grow every day. And it's a long process. It's not something that you can do overnight. There's no way you can stop the programming and brainwashing that you have been receiving your whole entire life and automatically all of a sudden you this better person overnight. It does not happen like that. It takes time. Are you willing to isolate by yourself and figure out what is stopping you from being your higher self? Or are you still waking up, walking with the devil in the negative spirit, being depressed, unhappy, talking about people, and being negative? Because what you say and think about other people is really a reflection of yourself. Because a person that is at peace with themselves don't wake up talking about people. Don't have anything negative to say. Now, it's not a perfect walk. It's going to be times where maybe you may be triggered by something. Maybe you may think about something. Healing is lifelong. It's never something that you succeed in. You know what I'm saying? Because things have affected you in life. Things have hurt you in your life. You know what I'm saying? But you can get better. You can overall change your habits, your thoughts, emotions towards certain things that help you elevate to your higher self and walk with God. But you got to understand, some people are content with who they are in their brain. They wake up thinking they not depressed. Nothing is wrong with them. They're okay. They're cool with living the way they living. And the only person that can decipher between that is them. You know what I'm saying? So you can't change anyone. You got to accept people for who they are. But your own personal journey and what God talks to you and explains to you about your life is tailored towards you. So you have to be willing to have an open mind to listen, which means you have to be able to process and deal with things. Stop running from them. You know what hurts you. You know what upsets you. You know what crushed your soul. Only you do. God gives you free will, meaning you have the ability to run from yourself or sit with yourself. And when you sit with yourself and face the pain head on, and you stop, you know what I'm saying, freaking self-sabotaging and numbing yourself, and you face the pain head on, you're basically giving him room to be able to come sit with you and help you grow as a person. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, people, when they experience bad things, they tend to judge God. I was once like that. I couldn't understand how God decided that one day you just wanted to take my brother. And you took him from me and my mom and all the other family members, but really me and my mom. Because we were the unit. We were the three as the unit. You know what I'm saying? And more so her. She was more hurt and damaged by it than me. And over the years, I continued to see it. And she couldn't be a mother to me because she was too hurt and sitting in her pain. So that caused me pain because I'm trying to navigate through life and I need help. But you can't help me because you were already damaged, and that damaged you more. You know what I'm saying? So it tends to make you question God. It tends to make you wonder why he did that to you. But it's really not something you can question. You can't question him and why he decided to make something happen. All you can do is control how you react to it. It's going to hurt. It's going to sting. But if you let it control your whole entire life, he will start to see that you're not strong enough to handle a battle. It's a lot of people right now that are mad booty in their isolation. They completely suck at it, and they completely are drowning in it, and they self-numbing, and they self-sabotaging, and they have to confront things that they've been running from their whole life. And a lot of people are just not ready and willing to identify those things. And what happens is God will start to have people continue to do the lesson over and over again until you start to open your mind and understand. And now is the time. There is no veil. There is no bars. A lot of you guys are in prison in your mind in the free world, not actually in prison. Now think about it. If you were to go to prison and you had time by yourself and you didn't have no choice but to be by yourself and isolate, it can either make you a dangerous person or it can free you. I realized I was more in a prison out here in the free world than actually being in prison. Prison actually freed my mind. Not out here. Because I had too many people, or I let too many people in to where they were controlling my identity and telling me who I was. And I was not happy at all. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I felt like God took the one person that allowed me to be myself with. So it was now like I got to fake and put on a persona to make other people happy. You know? And it's damaging. It's crucial. It's like really will steal your soul. The younger that you are, the easier too. It's easy to be controlled and not be free. People want to be free, but they don't know how to self-isolate. They keep running from themselves and self-sabotaging and numbing. They don't want to confront the pain head on because it hurts too much. And you blocking the path that God has set out for you to enjoy a better lifestyle for yourself. Life comes with pain, comes with hurt. It's a part of it. But we also have been brainwashed to think a certain way about who we are that we tend to not be open-minded. And you have to be open-minded if you want the guidance and the wisdom that comes with God. You know? Like, you have to be open-minded because it's going to trick you. It's going to play tricks on your brain. It's going to have you thinking things that you may not know if it's real or not. But are you open-minded? Are you conformed to one way of thinking, or are you open-minded? Are you open to learning new things, or are you centered on your only way of knowing things? You think you know it all. He's not going to come to you if you think you know it all, because you're not open to learning. So what happens is the thoughts or ideas or the things that he, you know what I'm saying, puts in your head, you will pass it off or numb it because you tend to think it doesn't exist. It's not real because it's not tailored to your reality that sits in front of you, in your face. You subconsciously created your life the way you thought it should be because you're not open to another way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is to it. You will pass it off and you'll judge it. If you're centered to a poverty mindset, in your mind, you only think you're good enough for SSI, welfare, Section 8. You don't think you're good for anything else. And your mind is centered on that. So how can he come in if you're not even open to nothing else? He won't. Because you're blocking yourself from your higher self, and you're in this lower self. So you wake up every day with them same thoughts on your mind. You drink the bottle, you smoke the weed, the cigarettes, whatever, you feel me, to pacify whatever you're feeling, even though you're unhappy. And you're not allowing him to come in and talk to you because you're in this lower vibration, not your truest, highest self, your true power. And the only way you can figure that out is alone, by yourself. And you know, even if you do have a spouse or somebody you're into, when you truly know who you are, they compliment you. They don't put you down. They don't look at you as less than. They compliment everything that you are. But the only person, again, like I said, that can figure that out is you. Some people have a good way of putting a mask on every day. They wake up not happy. They wake up depressed, but you'll never know because they put on a mask that helps them pretend in front of you. And if you're pretending, then everybody's pretending. And you can't see through the disguise because everybody's pretending. But when you come to a certain point in your life where you're completely okay with who you are and you're completely at peace, you'll be able to decipher between that. And you'll know who's wearing a mask and who's really their true self. You'll be able to see it. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when God comes through. Your higher power, whatever you choose to believe in. It's a very complex situation. It has very different viewpoints. Everybody has their own idea. Everybody has their own ways of living. Everybody has their own thoughts. That's why you can't change nobody. You can just accept them for who they are, but who you can change is yourself. That's it. That's all. Listen, that's the magic to it. And we're in a state of where if we don't make some changes and figure out who we truly are, you're going to get hit with the same set of circumstances until you figure it out, which will cause you to feel the same emotions and thoughts and feelings and anger and animosity and jealousy to people who choose to listen and elevate, because you're still stuck in this mode. And you can't seem to get out. But you can, though. It's hard. It's not easy. But you can do it. And we're at a point right now where God is not really giving us a choice. He's doing things that we can't even really explain. There is no scientific explanation for it. But it's happening right now. And people will pass it off and try to add, oh, that happened because of this. Oh, this happened because of that. When you know in your mind that you don't have no reason why that happened. But he's trying to let you know something. He's trying to help you understand and see something in your life that you keep choosing to act like you don't see. And so he'll make certain things happen. But people right now don't want to believe that. People right now don't want to see it. People don't want to believe anything that they can't see realistically. And see, the difference between me and other people is I've been open-minded my whole life. I read books. I'm open to other people's lives and how they live. I never judge anyone. I don't put nobody down. I don't make them feel less than. You know what I'm saying? So it leaves my mind to be free and open to other people and their way of living and their thoughts and their ideas. And that's all you need to be able to truly hear him talk to you, and only you. But the only way you can get to that is you have to spend some time alone. So it's not that nobody like you. It's not that you have enemies. It's not that people hating. It's the fact that you think that about yourself, because people are self-reflecting inside of themselves, and it causes you to think that, as well as they may be thinking the same thing. But if everybody just stopped and paused and be like, you know what, I never really even did anything to anybody. People are self-reflecting on themselves and where they need to grow and where they need to elevate. And it may cause them to react a certain way because they're figuring out and trying to understand where they can grow at, because it is someone that is growing past them and they feel stuck. Does not mean that they don't like you. Does not mean they have any animosity towards you. Now, if you did something to them in real life, snake them behind their back, you finesse them, you stole from them or something, okay, then that's different. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, we're in a place in life where it's time to evolve, and the way of life is changing. Meaning, everything we've been conditioned to know and understand has been interrupted. And it's time to think and perceive life in a different way and be who we truly are. Which means you have to be able to see through the brainwashing. See through, you know what I'm saying, some of the things you've been doing your whole life. Because when you are at peace with yourself and you walk with God, your higher power, whoever you choose to call it, you don't have anger. You don't have depression. You don't have animosity. Now, that's not saying you're perfect. You do wake up some days in your head, but you're able to shift out of it. You know what I'm saying? You're able to come at a calmer place when you don't understand things. You're able to truly be who you are without any frustration or pain. And believe it or not, is a lot of people who are not who they truly are. They're walking around trying to make other people happy through some sort of personal gain or status. And you won't even be able to see it, because whatever you're attracted to may reflect in them. You know what I'm saying? And again, when you isolate and get in one and in touch with your higher self and God, it won't be a sense of loneliness. It won't be loneliness. It'll be healthy, and you will see that person continue to grow. And when you do go around them, you'll be able to see, hey, this person ain't the same person they was 2 or 3 years ago. In a positive way, though. Everybody wants to see everybody move in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? It's inevitable. You'll have people that tell you, hey, you ain't moving right. You'll have family members that say you're doing this wrong, because everybody wants everybody to be at a higher state, a higher vibration. But this time, it's happening without the judgment. It's you sitting with yourself and realizing and understanding, I am stuck in a place I don't want to be in because I'm refusing to look and introspect inside of myself and get in touch with God. Because when you are in touch with God, those old emotions will wash away, and it'll be unexplainable things that'll happen that you can't explain or put a logical idea to it, to where you don't even feel comfortable explaining it to people who are at a low vibration, because they won't completely understand what you're saying. You'll have to get in touch with your people that are on your level and then explain it, and they'll know where you're coming from, because they will have that same thing happen to them, or they'll have something similar happen to them. You know what I'm saying? Once everybody walks their own tailored path for themselves, you can hear God. He will talk to you directly and speak to you. But if you're blocked by negativity or thinking things don't exist, or because it doesn't fit your reality you see with your eyes, he can't come talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And therefore your faith, you don't believe. It's entirely based off of faith. You have to believe in order to hear God talk to you and understand what he's saying to you. But we tend to don't believe in anything these days because we can't see it. I've been believing in magic since I've been a kid. I've loved Harry Potter. I've loved, Santa Claus movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just things that don't have a logical explanation to them. And I was open-minded, but that's not something I would express to everybody because, again, people will judge you. I'm 35. You know what I'm saying? Walk the sidewalk, but I hang with gangsters. They don't read. So me liking Harry Potter is something I would have to go to the movies and see the new movie by myself. Until you find your set of people that are into that, and then you will see what's up and what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? So don't take this time to feel like everybody's against you and you tired of being lonely and you staggering into your old life, but at the same time understand everything you've done in the past has helped you grow into the person that you are. And you're not perfect. Sometimes you'll backslide. But if you stay focused and you deal with your pain head on and you take your L's like a big girl, big man, you know what I'm saying? And you figure out a solution to it, you'll be all right. You'll be okay. And God will give you the wisdom and the guidance that you need to be able to excel and create the life that you see and want for yourself. But you have to be able to understand and realize who you really are for real. Or are you being dictated and pulled and controlled by other people? The only way to figure that out is through isolation. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions while you are isolated will tell you everything you need to know about your own personal journey, spiritual journey, and guidance that God has set out for you. It's up to you and what you want to do for your life. Period. And understand, some people never even reach that point. Some people really just pass away at an old age because they refuse to even sit and identify things that they need to grow from, things they need to face head on because they've been taught to be strong and just live every day going through it. And then that put a damper on your soul. And then, you know what I'm saying, overall, that leads you to be in this lower vibration where you think everything is negative and you constantly being negative and, you know what I'm saying, you're never happy and you just pretend and act and fake and control your life with money and status and whatever you see fit for yourself to get people to like you. This physical world is very different from the spiritual world, and and listen, you have to be able to have an open mind to tap into both of them to see what you need to do for your own personal self to create the life that you want to live. It's your choice. What do you want to do? Me personally, I know I wasn't happy with my past life. Not at all. But it helped me grow. But it was things that was dampering my soul and made me feel sad and wake up not loving myself and insecure that I didn't like. So I wasn't happy to see myself doing anything other than, you know what I'm saying, what I was doing. And so when I opened my mind and realized, look, I got to change some things. You allowed yourself to walk through the door that God has set out for you. Are you willing to take that trip? Are you willing to get on that road? Are you willing to have faith and believe? Or are you too stuck in a lower vibration of devilistic things, whatever you see that to be for yourself? You know what I'm saying? Again, God will talk to you and only you when you're ready. And sometimes people never get ready. And sometimes people get ready at different times. But I know and understand that when you are one and at peace with God, you will not be jealous and have animosity and anger towards anyone. You will love people just the way they are because you love yourself. And you'll know that you're not perfect. And you'll know that you went through life like a journey like everyone else. And when you feel that in someone, it's easy for you to bond and connect with that person. It's a journey. It's a trip. But we're being pushed into it right now. We don't really have no choice. And some people are sinking and drowning. And some people are not making it. And some people are going to jail. And some people will cross over. But the choice is yours. Don't put a time limit on it. He's only talking to you. Are you listening? Or are you focused on somebody else's journey? Man, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, because my videos is basically centered on lifting the overall collective of people to be at a higher vibration to create the life you want for yourself. It's time. It's really time. That's all I want for the people. So please, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, because you know what it is.